What's up, guys? I hope you're doing well. Here we are in Imperial City. We have the kitty with us, the cat. Today I'm gonna show you my NIGHTBLADE GANK PvP build. I tried to make the build the most simple and friendly I could. I'm not using any mythic items or scribing abilities. The only thing I'm running is subclassing. I'm using a class from Templar. And now I'm gonna show you on full detail everything we have to know about the build. In this build I'm using 3 complete sets, 5 pieces of New Moon Aqualite, 2 pieces of the monster set Barlorg, and 5 pieces of Titanborn set. Important things to take notice. In a weapon I'm using a two-handed mace for the extra penetration. The mace is enchanted with Oblivion damage. You can choose other enchants, but I prefer Oblivion damage because it's direct damage to health. I'm using more damage to the weapon. And as you can see, I choose to use this set because it gives me good weapon damage and good penetration. In alternative to this one, you can use War Maiden, but War Maiden don't give us penetration, and penetration is quite important on this build, so yeah. In the back bar, I'm just using another Aqualite, in this case an X. Another important things to notice in the build, I'm using a piece of heavy armor for the Undaunted passive, and for the passives are heavy armor and medium armor. So I'm using Barlorg. Why I'm using this set is quite simple. This set gives us weapon damage, and when we use our ultimate, will give us a multiplier of weapon damage and penetration. And this depends the number of ultimate we have. So if we have 500, will give us a lot of penetration and weapon damage. That's quite important for the second attack on the gank, so it's very important to have on the build. The rest of the build is medium, medium chest, medium Barlorg, and now we have Titanborn. This is the juicy part of the build. So the build is a bit kamikaze because of this set. So this set once again will give us a bunch of penetration and a bunch of damage. But if we are under 50% health, this will increase 4 times. So we'll get very strong, and our damage will be insane because we will have a lot of damage and a lot of penetration. And as you can see, the rest of the item is just to complete the sets, rings and knuckles. And I almost forgot, Kitty is saying to subscribe the channel, and he's saying if you don't do it, he will poop on the floor here in Imperial City. Let's go into the skills and passives. I will try to explain why I'm using these abilities and these passives. The first ability I'm using is Arterial Burst. This ability is quite important to have on this build because this will be a combo with the Titanborn set. As you can see, when we are below 50% health, this will always crit, so it's quite important. We will be under the 50% health, we will proc the Titanborn set and we'll proc this ability. We are using Camouflage Hunter to give us the passives from Fighters Guilds and to give us a little bit more crit damage when we are attacking from the flanks. We are using Shadow in the Skies. Some people don't use it anymore, but for me, it's one of my favorite abilities. I like to run away with this ability. I like to be sure that I'm not seen when I'm going to attack, so here it is. I'm running surprise attack for one simple reason. Sometimes I want to gank without being below 50% health, and this ability will give me a crit every time and every 3 seconds when I'm attacking from the flank, so here it is. I'm using Toppling Charge. because we are using a subclassing from Templar, and I'm using this one because it's a very powerful stun and helps me when the enemies are running away. Imagine that I gank, I'm not able to kill at the first 2 attacks and the target is running away. I use this to catch up. And our ultimate is Incapacitate Strike. In this case, you can choose the other morph. For example, if I'm ganking in Imperial City or Cyrodiil, I use this one. But if I'm ganking or doing Battlegrounds, I will use the other morph because we'll negate some healing and some shield. Going to the back bar, we are running Vigor. This is our major heal. We are running Challenge Acceleration. This will give us more crit damage and will give us movement speed to catch up the target that we are chasing to gank. I'm using Piercing Mark. This ability, it's here because I like this ability to mark some target if I see that is a Nightblade and go stealth or something like that. So it is here. And Phrasing is a very important ability in this build because with this ability we will control our health bar. And with this ability we will be able to get more damage and get our health below 50% to have to proc the Arterial Burst and the Titanborn set. We are using Momentum here to give us weapon damage. And I'm using Swarming. It's here because sometimes I'm struggling and I want to survive, so it's kind of a survival ability. Going into the passives, so I'm running Assassination with all the passives on. I'm running Shadow because of Shadow in the Skies, and I'm running Aedric Spear. So this is very important. This will give us more crit damage. As you can see, 12% is a lot, and have some other good benefits. And the only thing we have to do, we have to have one ability in our bar, so we have it here. So we are running the passives from Two-Handed Blade because we are using Two-Handed Blade, but we are not using any skill from it. The important thing is, because we are using a mace, is to have this the passive for penetration. We are running all the passives from medium armor and all the passives from heavy armor. Now the important stuff. We need to be a vampire in this build. It's mandatory. It's like you cannot perform this build without being a vampire. And we are using the Phrasing and the Arterial Burst, 2 abilities from here. And the most important here is all the passives. So this one, it's very important because we can like run while sneaking. So no penalty here. When we leave invisibility, we will have more damage. And we will have kind of a reduced damage taken. So normally I'm always in Vampire Stage 3. But if you want to control better the health, you can go to Stage 4. So we are running some passives from Fighters Guild. This is important to have a little bit more damage. For example, in here, that's why we are using the Camouflage. And I use this one just to give me a little bit more ultimate. In the Undaunted, this is why we are using a piece of armor heavy and another one medium to give us a bit more health, stamina and magicka, so it's quite important. In the Assault is where we will get our Vigor, and of course we are a Khajiit, so we want to run all the passives from Khajiit. I tried this build with Dark Elf. It's good, but it's not so good as this one, because here you can see this will give us a bit recover, will give us a bit health, magic and stamina, and will give us a amount of critical damage, and will be much more difficult to be detected by others, so is a must go. About potions and food, it's quite simple. I'm using this 3 restoration potion if I'm struggling, or to help, or to control a little bit the health of the character, and I'm using this one to detect some players. For example, if I'm here in Imperial City and I understand that someone is going to invisibility, I will use this and will give us magic recover, so it's quite good. About the food, I normally use sugar skulls, give us a lot of health, a lot of stamina and magica, so it's quite good. It's a overall food. You can try other ones, but this one, you cannot go wrong with this one. Let's go into the attributes. So here I'm running full magica, but you can run like full stamina, it works the same. I'm just choosing magica because of Shadowy the Skies and Arterial Burst, because they are magical abilities, and I don't want to run out of magica. And our Mundo Stones is Lover to give us penetration. I mean, I tried Shadow, of course we will have much more critical damage, but we will not be doing more damage, because we need more penetration to do the damage. So I tried, I tested, and believe me, it's much important to have penetration than have more crit damage. So before showing you all the stats of the build, let's take a quick look to the champion points. The most important ones are in the warfare. Being fast, fighting finesse will give us critical damage, is quite important for the build. Master at Arms give us more damage to direct attacks. Deadly Aim will give us single target damage. And we are using this one, the last one, to have a little bit more of weapon damage. Into the finesse, there are 2 important ones here. One is to have more movement speed, and the other one is Bastion, to give us to be more effective against enemies with shields. I'm running to a little bit more of recovery and a little bit more health. On the craft side, there are 2 important ones, the other ones are not important. This one is to reduce the cost of sneak, and this one is quite important for chasing our enemies, to have more movement speed. So now let's have a look to all the stats of the build. These stats are without buffs, so as you can see, we already have a very good amount of damage, 5,500. We have a good crit chance, but it's not too much important for this build. But we have 12,000 penetration already without any buff. This is very good. We don't have so many spell resistant or physical resistant, because the point is not to engage in big fights, it's just to get in, kill and get out. And as you can see, we are using Love Mundo Stones for the penetration, and we already have 54% of crit damage. This will go up with at least more 10 or a little bit more with the buffs. Now I'm gonna show you the stats with all the buffs. I recommend you to pause, because this will be very fast. I'm just running my health low to proc everything, and then you will see all the damage coming. Pause the video to see, because it's quite fast. So we're going to 10,000 and 27,000 penetration. So as you can see, we can go way like crazy amounts of damage and spell penetration and physical penetration. So guys, we are very near to the end of the video. Now I just want to show you the two combos abilities that I use. One is for ganking and the other combo ability is more for a fighting situation. So to start with the first combo, we go to the back bar, we use Frenzy, and we will wait a bit because we need to have our health below 50% to proc everything. So right now I'm not in Vampire Stage 3. That helps a little bit to get the health under 50% more easily. And when we are near to the 50%, we will use our momentum, and then we will use challenging acceleration. Then we go to our front bar, we can use Shadow in Disguise, and then ultimate and arterial. In our second combo, we want to use toppling charge, then the ultimate, and then we can use surprise attack or arterial. Just something like this. It's a very good burst. Normally they will go down. So guys, this was the complete guide of my build. I hope you enjoy it, give it a try. Tell me in the comments what you think, what we could change. And in the future I will make an update with scribing skills and maybe a mythic. And if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe the channel. I will leave you with some gameplays of the build. Enjoy it, and I see you in the next one.